Dr. Anderson, Nate here. It's my Kucha on cell phone use on campus. Maeve and I put the video together, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we're presenting separately. So here we go. So why did we choose cell phone use on campus? It just comes down to a couple things really. We noticed everyone has one, and people are always on them. So we were just curious about, what the effects are, and the class discussions also spiked our interest. So why do people have them? Interconnectedness. You can gain popularity easily on cell phones, but mainly just convenience and safety, I think, are the biggest things. It's really convenient to have a phone, be able to talk to people, and make emergency calls if need be. We were interested in the effects of cell phone use on people in general, well, really society and individuals. And along with that, we were wondering, are these effects mostly positive, or would they mostly be negative? So we started with mental health. Kids now are spending less time outside, which leads to less imaginative and creative thinking, and ultimately a lack of social skills. One thing I found very interesting was that kids are now becoming really verbally aggressive, and they bully online. And I immediately thought of YouTube comments. Like, people say really nasty things in YouTube comments nowadays, and I think it's ultimately for attention. So I think that's why that's happening. We see an increase in anxiety and depression, especially in girls. We talked about this a little bit in class. I think that stems from self-worth oftentimes being defined online by likes or favorites or the engagement your tweet or post receives. People also are getting less sleep. Loneliness is a real thing that's happening. It's a real thing that people feel. I think this stems from constantly seeing what your friends are doing on social media, and maybe not being a part of it, or seeing what others are doing and you wish you could do the same thing. And then with anxiety, loneliness, and depression, people are at, teens right now are at a higher risk for suicide. Going forward, it also leads to a lot of insecurities, and a lack of social skills, as we talked about before. Not only can kids having a tough time conversating, they're not hanging out as much in person. Another negative effect, I think personally, that phones have is you have to be really careful with your lifestyle choices now. Everything's documented and monitored, so you got to be careful what you put on the internet. If you're trying to get a job, or you could self-incriminate yourself. So that's potentially a negative effect. Those will be the negative effects, and then benefits. Are there benefits to having cell phones? And more specifically, what are they? So we'll start with the obvious ones. Safety. You can make emergency calls. You have quick access to your parents, to campus safety here at Denison. It's convenient. Talk to your friends, talk to your families, make plans. And it's a smart consumer choice nowadays with everything that's accessible through your phones. Some more benefits. People are more informed now than they had ever been. There's quick spread of information through social media, texting, all kinds of things. And we see an interconnectedness between people. You feel really connected with your friends. You're seeing common things on the internet, laughing together, whatnot. I think social media, while it has its negative effects, there's also benefits to it. It's a great platform for hashtag awareness, as we talked about in class, or awareness in general. You can raise money on social media, and you can campaign for things, change in society, political change, whatever it may be. And then, documentation, while I noted it could be a negative, it can also be a benefit. It's pretty cool to look back at some memories and pictures saved from 5, 6 years ago that this generation has the benefit of experiencing, but not former generations. Physical health. I think phones definitely have contributed to health education, and there are plenty of apps that help you track your health. Make sure you eat healthy, track your workouts, whatever it may be. So my personal beliefs about phones, I really think phones are a good thing. They're helpful in a lot of ways, like we just talked about. They make life more convenient, and straight up, they're fun. There's games, there's really cool things you can do on your phones. I like to follow sports on my phone. So I really think phones are ultimately a good thing. But I will acknowledge, I think in today's society, and you see it all the time, people are less willing to hang out. I think because if they're not really social beings, they can just sit on their phones. We rely on our phones a lot. Sometimes, we don't really know what to do without them. We talk about our phones when we're together, and it does lead to loneliness. I think moving forward, it's important to address these mental health issues that are caused by phones, and then acknowledge that they are actually caused by the phone. So, what to do? Personally, I think that it'd be beneficial to change the way people interact on social media, like maybe take away likes or things like that to make people feel better about themselves. Stop ill will people from going viral and getting attention. Would be a big help. But ultimately, I think we're not going to be able to do any of these things or make a real change unless we start to put the phones down and enjoy each other's company more.